Chalmers Johnson, 1931-2010, the death of a right-wing anti-imperialist. The late, great Chalmers Johnson, author of the post-9/11 blockbuster, Blowback, passed away recently, after what could only be termed an extraordinary life. At the time of his death, he was known as a prominent anti-imperialist, a feat all the more remarkable given his trek from the right, from a stint in the Navy, where he earned the rank of lieutenant, junior grade, to his role as a consultant for the CIA. He would later call himself a spear carrier for empire, not just, or even primarily, in his role as a military man, but in his post-military career, when he went to work for think tanks and foundations because, as he frankly put it, that's where the money is. But a funny thing happened as he studied China, Japan, and other Asian societies. He learned that revolutions were fueled not so much by foreign intrigue, but by social and economic injustices. His studies also took him to global histories, as expressed perhaps best in the third work of his trilogy, Blowback, The Sorrows of Empire, and Nemesis, where Johnson issued a warning to the U.S. empire. Like the Chinese, Ottoman, Habsburg, Imperial German, Nazi, Imperial Japanese, British, French, Dutch, Portuguese, and Soviet empires in the last century, we are approaching the edge of a huge waterfall and are about to plunge into it. Johnson quotes an historian to further his point. The historian Kevin Baker feared that we are no longer far from the day when, like the Roman Senate in 27 BC, our Congress will take its last meaningful vote and turn over power to a military dictator. In the end, we'll beg for a coup, he wrote. From a childhood amidst the Great Depression, to a life lived abroad as part of the Cold War Navy, to a GI Bill-funded higher education, to a staunch anti-imperialist intellectual and critic, Chalmers Johnson made an immense contribution to public life. While he didn't create the term blowback, his book popularized it. And until reading his work, I had no idea that the U.S. had over 700 bases around the globe, many secret to people in whose lands they were located. Chalmers Johnson was in his 79th year of life. From death row, this is Mumia, Abu Jamal. These commentaries are recorded by Noel Hanrahan of Prison Radio.